So hello and welcome. It's a little bit of a late start for us today, coming out on the Downing Cycling YouTube channel. It is the Donny Chaingang with me, Matt Payne, on OTE December. We are heading into what's happening. Our riders actually already out on to the first of what will be 7 laps of 6.3 kilometres, and that brings us into our green sprint arch at 47.1 kilometres. We then have 1.9 kilometres warm down to the blue banner, and our yellow beacon today is Russ Downing of Downing Cycling. My name's Matt Payne. We're going to be bringing you all of the action and, of course, the Donny Chaingang co-production between Full Speed Events and Downing Cycling. Without any further ado, let's dive into our riders out on the course. Let's have a look, see how they're getting on. We're down and in with them now. Russ is out on the course, it looks like. They're just diving down the villas, so we've made our way through the sprint line. We're taking the right-hand turn down the descent. So already making our way down and in. Let's pull across the Seaside Sprint on Velo Viewer for you down on the bottom left-hand side of your screen. So we're descending from the right-hand side of the course onto the lower section, and you can see that thin ribbon. That is the low point that takes us across towards the side of the volcano. Already that group just a little bit fractured coming out, but not looking too bad as we make our way down. Just going to take a quick check as we go in and through, and just dropping down. Looks like everybody all together at the moment as they make their way down that descent. And remember, this is that long, flat section. It takes us round in towards the volcano before we weave our way back round to the S's, drop down and run in and through that sprint once again. So at the moment, the ride pretty much together. Russ, of course, holding it together, former professional rider, and man who's taken plenty of wins in his career, including, of course, taking the yellow jersey in the Tour of Ireland, leading out the ride today. So let's pop the Velo Viewer on one side. The riders at the moment diving down. Let's give you a quick recap on those figures as well. So remember, it is 7 laps of 6.3 kilometres. It's going to take you down and out on to the course today. So just heading in and through. So at the moment, that gang just making the way in around the turn. And as you can see, we'll pop it out of the way. So it looks like Russ just pulling the gang around nicely here at the moment. We're going to just take a look at who we've got on board the gang. Everyone should be finding the legs here. So Eddie Dench nicely tucked in towards the back. A couple of riders just chasing back in. I think this is going to be Simon Oxenham and Ted Tunnicliffe. Ted, one of our regular riders from the Chef Reg squad, taking that right-hand turn that pulls us up into the volcano. You can see it's hot by the volcano by the fact the wheels are just sinking in every now and then into the tarmac. Just seeing Samuel Taylor just dropping off the back here. This is one rider more than capable of pulling himself back on to the group. So it looks good. So all about looking after the group here. Looks like Ted just squeezing on with Sadler here. Raccoon just jumping in as well. Got 4.5k under the wheels. Don't forget, there is a late join available. You do need to be pedalling as you hit the section. If you do have a coffee stop, if you jump in late, don't forget, of course, if you press that coffee stop button, it will pull you up into that beacon, in the yellow beacon, if you're off the back when you jump in by mistake. So very handy to have that. Now, fortunately, we got Matt Nunn on board. Matt is our official, unofficial, you know the score, lap scorer. He's the man today, and he's going to be ticking the laps off as we go in and round. We're on lap 1 of 7 at the moment. So our riders coming round that left-hand turn. The cameras here on Matt Nunn. As the riders make their way around, you can see the bridge on the right-hand side here as the riders come in and through, looking good. You can see the Outer Zwift in the background, as well as the classic, the epic climb up to the station. So though the side of the volcano used regularly on the route for the Donny Chaingang. At the moment, the riders nicely moving around, sighting and take a tight right-hand turn into the glass bridge. That brings you round. There'll be a right-hand turn on to the S's. You can see top right-hand side of your screen, the map view. We're just going to use that to zoom in. So if we take a little bit of a closer look, you can see on the 3D view the riders tracking round to that right-hand side. And as we can see as we take a look from up above, nice and tight and snug together. Now, I do have royalty on board today because we have the one and only Mr. Nixon with us. So Henry Nixon, good to have you on board, Henry. Henry, one of the main men when it comes to Zwift, and good to have Henry with us on the Donny Chaingang once again. The man very instrumental in helping us setting up the gang in the first place, as well as sorting out issues on the way through. A big thank you to Henry for all of his help on his way through. He is in with us now. A quick few heads up for you. Quick reminder, of course, that this month is OTE month. That means if you are a member of the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club, the DCG gang, then guess what? You have some fantastic discounts heading your way. The OTE discount is 30%. So if you're riding on here thinking, oh, do you know what? I'd really like to get the links direct to my inbox. I'd like 30% discount off OTE for sure. Then join the gang and ride on the Tuesday and Thursday gang. You get all the links straight away. Don't forget, of course, that you then get 30% discount on OTE. You get a 30% discount on the Goodyear bike tyres from Cambrian Tyres. A massive thank you to Shelley for that. You can also pick up some Continental tyres that also at the same discount, 30% off of those. Don't forget the Gritty supporting all the way through the season with 20% off the sustainable sports apparel. They actually had the run through. And of course in November, Gritty offering extra discount as well. We also have Halo on board, looking after our riders, 10% discount at Halo all the way through, an extra discount for the gang in Halo. Don't forget, of course, we also have 1080 looking after our riders who are members of the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club. You can help keep the show on the road by joining. All the details are down there. But of course, if, for example, today is not your day, if today you want to just jump on board, if you're maybe not sure you're going to be on regularly, if you don't need those discounts, then don't forget, of course, that you can always jump on board a Thursday and see how it rolls. Now, the gang at the moment looking smooth. Good to see they've got Andrew Whitehead. He's back on board. Nice coming in on the late join there. Just riding in with Finn Davies at the moment. Finn, one of our regulars, one of our youngsters. We've got a very proud record of bringing on lots of youngsters on to the gang. So just taking a little bit of a run through. Got Mr. Hill in here. So this is our run in towards the finish to give you a run in to the finish. This is your rehearsal, ladies and gentlemen, because this is your rundown. We're going to change our map view. We're going to zoom out by the power of Zwift. As you can see, we're going to go into what is a long run down. Now we're just in with Mr. Hill at the back. I think we'll drop in with Ted Tunnicliffe, just going to be running onto the back of the group. This is the run in. This is your descent. We will then come round to the line, which is going to be the sprint line. That will be lap 1 of 7 complete. 1 of 7 complete. We will be going out onto lap 2 of 7. So Neil from Crosscast just had to do a late join. I know Neil's been incredibly busy of late, and hopefully going to be able to jump in with us. He said I had to do a second jump in because first time he put him down in the pens, which should be a long way in. That was indeed the finish, so that is 6 laps to go. And that will be your finish in 6 laps' time. Don't forget, of course, all of the details up on screen. Let's pull you that down. So you can see we have made our way around this circuit. We are at that start-finish point. We're going to head through the villas, drop down along the line through the 1.5k marker. That is down along the side. That's the little causeway that takes you across to the volcano. Climb up through the volcano between 2k and 2.5k. Exit the volcano at 3.5k round the lap. We go over the bridge at 4 kilometres. We go through the S's between 4.5 and 6k, and then we do the run across the bridge today. So make sure you keep that dialed. Remember, this is lap 2 of 7, so we have just under 6 laps left to go. Thank you to Matt Nunn, our unofficial, not unofficial lap scorer. Now, one of the people we didn't particularly mention on the way through is, of course, the amazing Nonnas. Nonnas are looking after the members of the DCG gang, as always. A massive, massive thank you to Stefano and the gang at Nonnas. Very busy at the moment. Make sure you go and follow them on social media because the Nonnas team, there's some great music, there are great bands, great instrumentalists, some great singers and vocalists in there, some amazing nights out there. It is super, super busy though at the moment as well, so do make sure you give the team a shout. So you can book online on the Nonnas website as well. Really, really important to do that. Now, interesting to watch the messages in on here. So diving on down, heading across the run towards the volcano at the moment. Now, people are asking us what's happening through the Christmas period. Christmas period, we will be rolling as normal. That's true of this and for the WoW as well. The WoW Chaingang all grown up as well. Now, just interested to see that Stefano Borelli's in it. Stefano just diving down in one of the early riders. Just distanced a little bit. He's got Hill in front. So, momentum is fine from the Fat Cyclist, from Gareth Mason. Good to see that Gareth is on the gang as well. Alfie not rejoining us once again. Ted is here as well. Nice to see Ted on the gang. Ted, one of the team bringing you the Tuesday rides as well. Did an amazing job there and making sure those rides roll down. Ted doing a lot of the admin behind the scenes as well. He's the man with the spreadsheet for the Tuesdays. And don't forget, of course, Ted, very experienced leader. One of the Zwift Academy leaders. So this is the gang for the leaders on here. Good to see Ted is on here. He's got that Academy kit out to the right-hand side at the moment as they make their way up. The little kicker takes us in and through to the tunnel that takes us through the volcano. So just over halfway round, lap 2 of 7 at the moment. Going nicely rolling in here on the way through the volcano at the moment. Looking pretty smooth as they come over the top here. Just coming through. In with John Gale at the moment, one of our regulars on the Donny Chaingang. Nice to see that we have the mass rolling today. A bit of education for people on the way through. Yeah, the moment, just descending down out from the volcano. This Tolkien-esque section, very nice indeed. I've always loved coming riding through this bit, and one of the early parts of Zwift, of course. And date right the way back to our original tree and the original island going into Watopia, then of course spreading out into the multitude of worlds that are the Zwift worlds. Now, of course, with lots of different rides. Don't forget, of course, the launch of the Zwift games just come out. Also, lots of updates to your avatars and to your levels coming out. And the levels have been rejigged. 100 levels launched. Make sure you have a look at what you get on each level and what is the best thing to buy at each level. And the best thing for that is to go onto Zwift Insider with Eric Solange. Eric, the man who brings us Zwift Insider. It's a brilliant resource. Have a look on there, see how best to spend those drops points that you've earned on the Chaingang. What better way to do that? Make sure it's really efficient. Make sure that you pick the right bit of kit on the way through. Really important. So coming into that right-hand turn into the glass tunnels we come. Time to take a quick check, but it looks at the moment reasonably snug together. Don't forget, of course, we have the late join rolling. And that runs for the first 30 minutes, which means that you've got about 7 minutes or so left. If you want to do a rejoin, so the gang going over the bridge. The chat nice and busy, which is always great to see. So Gareth Mason, the rider that we're following in to the S's at the moment. Just a little bit of a stretch starting to appear on the downhills as the riders come rolling in. No surprises there in some ways. So round the turn, I think everybody pretty much warmed up at the moment. 25.5 minutes on the clock. So into the last 5 minutes, the late join still being available for the riders. On our way round, this is lap 2 of 7. At the moment, you see Darren Topless on board. Darren, of course, a member of the DCG gang, the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club. You can join, you can register. It's really simple. Down on the left-hand side of your screen, you can see the address going through. It's www.buytickets.at/ the full speed events /full speed events. You can see it down there. You can join register for the Thursday rides. You can join the DCG gang. You get discounts for the people who are all the way across the base of that screen. At the moment, it is OTE December, and as a present to all of the members of the Donny Chaingang in December. The team are doing an amazing job because they're giving away 30% discount to every single member of the DCG gang, the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club. So into the descent they come. This is coming towards the end of lap 2 of the 7 laps as our unofficially the official lap score at Matt Nunn is about to ring out the number of laps to go. So over the bridge they go. We're going to go underneath that green arch. There we go. Bang on cue. Matt Nunn, 5 laps to go. Indeed we have. So 5 laps to go. The gang getting quicker and quicker as the riders come through that sprint in the bunch each time. All picking up a complete shower of confetti on the way through. Great to see the riders looking good. Mr. Keyworth nicely tucked in here from out of the saddle. Paul Mallin's in here. Looks like Dr. D on board the gang as well. Nice to have you here, sir. So Dr. D coming in through the Italian villas. They're going to take the tight right-hand turn. So diving down, taking the right turn onto the gravel section here. And it drops us down. And it is really key here, trying to hold nicely in tight together. Now, let's give you a quick heads up on how the rides have been progressing. Kai Davis has been very, very strong on the gang. He has been looking really good. We have seen Mr. Drabble, he's been absolutely flying. Don't forget, of course, we also have got riders who are in the middle of their season, particularly in terms of the ZRO. A number of those riders riding on Tuesdays. A number of those riders are riding a little bit later on as well. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how that changes as we move in and away. So the riders just making the way on towards the volcano at the moment. I wish it was a hot delivery of coffee that's just landed in the studio. Sadly, it's not. Fortunately, I've still got a little bit left. Just a little bit of simultaneous admin happening in the studios here at Full Speed Events, as well as the show rolling. So we're going to try to see how good my juggling is today. It's always dangerous when I start doing 7 things at once. But we will see. Good to see Finley Hudson in with us. Finley, one of our younger riders. I'll tell you something, on those downhills he doesn't have a hard time, which I'm quite glad of, because when we get onto the uphill bits he doesn't have an easy time, not by any stretch of the imagination. So in with the riders. Henry still nicely tucked in here as well. Jamie Pearson in, Doug Main in. We've good to see Craig's in. Craig, yeah, no problems, buddy. A little bit of a tech issue meant that we had to do a little bit of communication earlier on. No problems at all. Always pleased to be able to help guys out on there. So here we go. Riders on the climb. Heading up. Mr. Hilbert keeping things smooth on here as we go up. Steve, another member of the DCG gang, the Donny Chaingang Sports Club, looking good at the moment. Nicely tucked in here. Who's ready for a long one? Not me. Oh my goodness, says Cyber Run It. I'm loving. Just having a quick check back on the conversation. It does look like, to be honest, See how they're going to go, and it could be very interesting. Good test for the Super Gels. Going before 40 minutes, my goodness, that would be a bit harsh, mean, stroke fun. I love the fact that Mr. Mason's saying if you're going to go before 40 minutes, I'm going to put the fan on. Mr. Mason, I know that you can generate it's like the heat of a small planet when you're working hard, but you know what? I have to say, the more that you can keep the heating bills down, I got to agree, the better it is. So a little bit of teasing from Russ of the gang there of a potential early kick-off on the way round. Got to keep people attentive, I think, because if that was to happen, I think that's going to be really interesting. Don't forget, of course, the beacons running the groups. They set the pace. They check out who is in with the group. Got a few people just distance on the back. Manny Taylor, I think Phil Hill not in the back, and Keyworth just at the back here with Sonia. Is he good to have Sonia back on the gang? Another of one of our regular riders. Sonia, of course, one of our regulars on the gang and out on the bike on a regular basis, and good to see Sonia back in with us on the Donny Chaingang. John Garfield, another of our regulars, coming in, going to be taking the right hand turn out on to the bridge. So looks like a few ride-ons going down for the riders, in with Gary Patterson, another rider who's really progressed on the Chaingang. Great to see. Another riders who's really progressed in and through. A few people just dropping the coffee chats in, going down, coffee stops in. Well, they're going to be getting them out of the way. So here we go, Russ Downing. He is our beacon. We're at 33 minutes into the ride. Is he really going to do that? Is he really going to set them off early? Are we going to see? We're not even at half distance at the moment. It's going to be very, very quick as come round. Remember, of course, that this is a long way around today. 7 laps, 6.3k. Start your engines, ladies and gentlemen, because it looks like Russ is getting ready to wind up. So that's going across on his sleigh in the distance. They just spotted in the distance behind the riders. This is going to be a very interesting kick-off going this early. Who's going to be ready for this? Who's going to be ready for the kick? Foggy's in with us as well. I'll tell you something, Mason, he's not taking any chances, is he? He's already rolled his way in to the front here. So Finn Davis, there's some very twitchy riders in now. They're all a little bit worried that Russ is going to pull the pin super early today. And this already has got people worried. Matt Nunney's in here. Matt's going to be letting our riders how many to go when they hit the line. This is going to be a long way out if it goes here. We're at nearly 35 minutes into the ride. And I'll tell you something, you don't want to be sitting at the back of this group. You could get caught out big style. And if he does pull the pin, we're heading in down towards the full-on S's section. This is tricky to stay in with the riders. We're into the descent, taking that left-hand turn. Paul Mallin just having to squeeze here to keep in with the gang. Finley Hudson on those downhills, just struggling. Got a different algorithm. It's going to roll differently. A few people getting rid of those coffee stops to make sure they're out the way here. Nobody wants to get caught out, and I think a lot of people being reliant on the fact they get those in, get that final break in and get a run in. Paul Mallin's going to take it easy now, Paul. No problems at all. Remember, of course, if you ride in, and we've got Manny Taylor's not all that far behind you, so make sure you spin those legs out. Always great to see people just making sure they get out of the road what they need. It's certainly getting hot up on the front. There's a few people at the back just finding the pace a little bit entertaining, to put it mildly. Let's see who's going to be on here by the time he does pull the trigger. We're going into the right-hand turn. This is the one that takes us around and down in. You can see we zoom out. This is our run in towards the finish. The tight right-hand turn here. The riders are making the way round. This is our run in. Currently the fastest time through the sprint is Dave Hopkinson. Good to see he's on board once again. Another of our regulars on the gang. And the fastest time, I think, at the moment through that is going to be a 13.69. I can't imagine it's going to stay at that till the end of today. So over the top we go. Let's have a little bit of a look at the gangs. 1 or 2 riders just off the back of that main pack. They're going to be in trouble if they're not careful. They can't afford to drop back too far as these riders start to make the way down. It's going to be a tight left-hand turn. We're going to go in over the bridge here. Matt Donny's ready with his wanting to give people a countdown. So Matt Nunn, our official unofficial lap scorer. We say that a lot because he is indeed unofficially our official unofficial lap scorer. So here we go through the line once again, waiting for the count. It is now 4 laps to go. Lots of confetti coming through, lots of twitchy legs, lots of twitchy riders in there. We are on 4 laps to go. 4 laps to go. 4 laps of 6.3k. This circuit is tough stuff. Who is going to be in there? A massive thank you. In fact, Neil with the fastest time that time round, making sure he went from the back to the middle of the group at 12.99. Nicely done going in with the time. I think it's going to be Sonia who's got the fastest time on the gang here. We're just going to take a little bit of a check. I think it is indeed going to be Sonia who's in here. It's definitely starting to wind itself up, Matt. And I'm wanting somebody to come and turn the fan on, mate. Yeah, sadly can't reach from here. It's a bit of a stretch from our studios to your fan. Otherwise, I'd do it for you gladly. Gang dropping down the gravel here. They go on to the descent. Tight right, tight left, sweepy left. And right coming up after that, this is going to take them down onto the spit of land that joins them across. Russ clearly just lifting up, heart rate 122 from Russ at the moment as he makes his way down here. The fan kicking in means that the heart rate just going to be coming in for the riders. Russ, interestingly, just you can just see just tucked up near the front, 117 beats per minute for Russ. See that top left-hand side of your screen, 66 revs per minute, 280 watts going down. Yeah, remote control fan is very handy, or you can just set it to go like Baltically cold from the word go. Now, none on his way down. Ted in here. Ted no longer on board. Looks like the time is ticking here, so looks like it's out the way. Stand by your best comes from Simon Run It, because for all the teasing, we are now in to our mid-lap. This is lap number 4 of 7. Remember, this is lap 4 of 7. It's also 4 laps to go as we hit the line. That is the critical number. So we're on our mid-lap on the way through, just coming along the base here. Simon Run It on board, and the rider, great history of riding Simon, and one of the regular riders, ex-Manchester Wheelers, the all-conquering Manchester Wheelers at one point. Dale Williams tucked in here as well, looking pretty cool to me. He's in here, just keeping it ticking around. Dale Williams, a regular past winner of the DCG gang. On to the ramp we go. This is the run up the side of the volcano. You can see this group on its way around. Yeah, everybody thinking that was a big old tease by Russ to keep everybody on their toes. Neil saying that. Neil, of course, from Gritty, one of the key supporters of the Chaingang. I think looks to me much like Neil's got himself a Christmas jumper on. Just taking a little bit of a look to see where he is. Indeed, he has. Christmas jumper for Neil today. Very nice, sir. Very festive. Lots of ride-ons in the back pocket, which is good to see as well. Now, Mr. Craig Hill just near the back of this group. Matt Nunn too busy typing to get in there. He didn't believe it for a second. He's at the back of this group. This is what you want to be careful. There is indeed only one person who knows. It is Russ. I don't get to know. Whilst I might talk to Russ pretty much non-stop through the gang on the message board, I never get to. He never tells me. One day he's going to tell me, and I won't believe him because he'll actually tell me when he's going to go. But no, we don't know either. We can be caught out. Has happened. So Key West nicely tucked in here, Gale in here, Pearson's in here, Tunnicliffe's in here, Pattison, none. A few riders just out the back. The main group though moving smoothly as they come through the volcano. They'll exit very shortly indeed. Just on that run down away from the volcano arch. Very popular circuit to use when it first came out, the volcano circuit on Zwift. Yep, nice control. The gang really smooth as they come down in through. Going to take the left-hand turn. Chapeau from Russ for the control. Very, very compact. Few riders distance as you'd expect on the Chaingang. As it gets quicker and quicker, who's going to be left in at the end? Well, to find out, you're going to have to stay tuned in, or of course you will be able to work that out. If you're riding and you actually manage to stay up with the front, but as we always say, to win on the Chaingang, to be in at the end at the front of the Chaingang, you basically have to be a pro, an ex-pro, a future pro, or maybe even a should have been a pro if you're right in at the mix. Will it be Finn Davis, one of our younger riders? He's nicely tucked in here, 15-year-old Finn, one of the riders we know who could be right in at the mix. The Welshman tucked in at the back of this group. One of the riders who really has progressed on the gang. So over the bridge we go. We are heading in. We are basically pretty much halfway round the lap at the moment, heading in around on lap 4 with about 3.5 laps in total left to go now. Slay alert indeed out on the side of the riders is always a great spot if you can catch it as the riders come in and through. So Finn Davis coming in, tucked in this group. Sellers in here. Russ Downing in the gang, dropping down into the S's once again. Will we lose any more riders on the S's? It's the trickiest part of the course. Into the S's. On the run down. Russ tucked nicely in with the group. Group still holding together. Left-hand turn coming up, you see the gradient changing, top right-hand side of your screen as we go up and over these turns. I think everybody at the moment getting very, very twitchy indeed. They know that when we hit the line, we are going to have covered 4 of the 7 laps. And if my rudimentary maths is correct, that means there'll be about 3 left to go. The riders at the moment just running away with the volcano in the distance behind, but the twists and turns here are going to keep everybody on the toes. This the run down in to the start finish line. Just coming around that sweeping right hand bend on to the descent. Will the pace pick up again? Are we going to see a faster time? Are we going to go sub 12 seconds this time round? It would be 3 laps go when they hit line. Quick reminder, if you are distance at the 3 Gs and the 3 Os, then make sure you find a group, try and find somebody to ride with. It's always quicker, it's always easy. Get in the draft, work together. Really, really key. I think a couple of people just dropping down there a bit quick. They're going to find themselves getting swept up on the way through. I think a few people just squeezing, anticipating that the trigger was going to be pulled on the bridge. Almost guaranteeing it won't get pulled on the bridge this time round. Looks like, though, I think the times on the board is going to be the same. It is indeed. So nobody going faster that time than last time in terms of the overalls. The fastest time and the go has gone. He's waited until the riders were on the way in and through. So here we are. It is a go. Russ has put the hammer down straight away. Oxenham has gone onto his wheel here. Looks like Hutch has made it. Foggy's made it as well. Alfie Nutt is on his way. Alfie's absolutely phenomenal rider. Good to see he's right up in here. And already this is an absolutely blistering quick move. Henry Nixon flying here at the moment as we come underneath the bridge. The go has gone, and you need to be right at the front of this group. If you're at the back, you're going to be in trouble. There is a big group starting to form, and look at this. There's plenty of anvils on the descent down here as well. I tell you something, those riders that have got those anvils, Hutch is one of them. This is going to be a massive advantage to them this time round. They're dropping down at the moment, and the front group is forming. It's already down to about 15, 20 riders at the most on this descent. This is going to make life difficult for everybody behind. So we have got about 2 3/4 laps left to go here on the Donny Chaingang. Live on the Downing Cycling YouTube channel at the moment. All looking like things have already started to stretch out. Great to see Dale Williams back on form. Look at this, Dale Williams leading out the Chaingang on that descent and into the straights. He's got everybody behind. The only man who's actually with him is Russ Downing. The rest of the group are at 3 seconds at the moment. Here they come. Williams comes through. Downing is on his wheel. The rest of the group behind, they have got a few seconds between them and the 2 leaders. So this is a group. This is a main chasing group on the way through here. 2 riders off the front. And that means that the gap is opening up. I think 20 riders in the main group. 2 riders off the front. Ryan Dubash currently 22nd. Simon running 23rd. So you just see as these riders are coming in and through. Big gaps open up. This is the second major group on the road here. So this looks like it is going to be very interesting indeed. There is a running. You've got Ball, you've got Whitehead, you've got Nunn, Baggs, Sam Emsley in there, Doug Main in there. Looks like Backhouse is in there as well. Dixon Moole in here. A really big, strong group here as they go up. Looks to me like this group is starting to fraction. We've got somebody's gone for it off the front here. So as we're just checking the back of the group, we're going to try and have to run all the way up to the front. Is it Holwell? No, it's not. It's somebody even further up the road. It's not Foggy. He's on his way. Is it Simon Oxenham? It is. So the all in black figure of Simon Oxenham. He might have ditched the Tron bike, but he's still all in the black. But he's lit up by those ride-ons in his back pocket. Oxenham in the leading group nicely in here. But look at this. They are absolutely mobbing the front of this now. So Holwell now goes over the top, pushes on. He goes over the top of the volcano line in front. He's looking good behind him. You can see Foggy's on the chase. So is Isaac Oliver of the Yombong crew. The Yombong crew promoting their cyclocross at Grace Park. So if you're at a loose end on Sunday, please do go down and have a watch. If you've got either the morning or the afternoon, you can go onto the Yorkshire Cyclocross Association page, sign up as a volunteer to help out in the morning or the afternoon. We are hoping to be down. We can't commit to being there 100% at the moment, but we are hoping to be there late on Sunday afternoon. And if that is the case, And then we'd love to see you down there as well, supporting the Young Punk crew and the cyclocross at Graves Park. You can find the details on Facebook, etc., as well as diving down to the park on the day. So at the moment, 3 riders away, including Young Punk crew's Isaac Oliver. You've got Foggy, you've got Oliver, you've got Holwell on the front. Maybe see Phil Holwell racing, you never ever know. Then leading the chase group, Hutch at the moment on the front. This is the chasing pack of riders. So 3 riders clear on the front. The chasing pack is going to number 20 at the moment. This is going to be really interesting. So let's see how they're going to go. This group here, Ted Tunnicliffe, Ryan Dubash, Simon Runnett, they can pull themselves back. It's only 23 seconds to the chase group. That is not insurmountable at this time. And it could be very interesting. So we've got 3 leaders. We've got the main chase pack. This is the second chase pack that we're in with at the moment. The third chase pack on the road is a big one. We're going to try and work out whereabouts they are. This is going to be the third of our chasing pack. So I think those riders with Mike Killingsworth, Malcolm Clark, Chris Canham, Graham Pattison, Darren Topless as well. You are in group number 3 on the road. Andy Keyworth just alone. I think the duo behind of Wallace and Hopkinson chasing hard at the moment. But the leaders have gone clear of our yellow beacon. They are down the road. There are 3 riders. And Russ now putting in a big dig here, trying to get across the gap. Oxenham has seen him going at the moment. So Russ really stringing out this group, trying to get them back up to the leaders. This is a serious chase going down now here on Zwift on the Donny Chaingang. Coming live to you on the Downing Cycling YouTube channel with me, Matt Payne, watching our leader. It is Russ Downing from Downing Cycling, from the Fuel Club, from the Pro Espresso. A man for whom Bike Flex is all part of a day's work. Well, so he's getting out and riding. You can just see him coming, dipping down after going around that big turn. As he goes up and over, you can just see the gang coming back towards him. The work that's being done is holding those leaders at about 12 seconds at the moment. Holwell really is pushing over the top here. Foggy and Isaac Oliver, they're working hard behind. That yellow beacon is behind, but at the moment, that gap is still holding between about 11 and 13 seconds. Remember, of course, this is based on relative speed and distance covered. So that is going to change things as the shadows drop. Adi Dench now leading the chase with Samuel Taylor. You got Hutch, you got Taylor, Hudson, Oxenham in there, Downing's in there, Davis is in there. Now, how soon was too soon to go? Because that was a very early breakaway from these 3 riders. They are on this descent. They are being chased. It's at 12 seconds back. They're about to come down to hit the line. They're going to have covered what is going to be 33.8k as they come in along the course here. They're coming up to the line. So this is going to be the point at which they come over the line once again. Now, can they hold on to the finish? That is going to be a tough ask. Over the line they go. So 2 laps to go from Matt Nunn. Thank you very much, Matt. 2 laps to go. 2 laps to go. Can they hold on for 12 kilometres? They've got 16 seconds at the moment. We are seeing an incredibly fast set of rides going down from these riders. Nobody is sprinting for that on the way in and through. I'll tell you something, this is going to be very interesting indeed. Hudson now with company, with Downing, but this group, they're still fractured. The pace being set at the front by Foggy, by Holwell, by Oliver, really is starting to stretch the group. They're really starting to pull clear. 15 seconds now, the gap to our chasing group as they come down underneath the Italian villas here on Zwift. They're going to go round. We look out from the balcony. They're going to take a turn now. Look at that, 30 seconds each. They're taking proper turns on the front. I'll tell you something, this is going to make things tough. 30-second each turns from Phil Holwell, from Isaac Oliver, and from Foggy. This is going to make things very, very tough. Hutch has lost contact. Isaac Oliver, we're saying he wishes he could pull This is going to be tough stuff. Really, really tough stuff here because Oliver is struggling to a turn on the descent. That is how quick it is. Isaac Oliver is one of our lighter riders. He's one of our younger riders. He is struggling on those down hills. You got Foggy and Hoa now. They go onto the flat. They may well be able to take those turns. If they do turn and turn about, they could keep them off. But remember, we are not on the last lap. We are on the penultimate lap. That means that there's still plenty of time for this group to come through. Let's see. Are they going to be able to go across? Can they stay on this group? It looks like Chris Espeo is on the chase behind, and I think there's some very, very dead legs. Hutch is in this group here, but they've got to really work. They've got to work together here, this chasing group, to pull back the leaders. It's 15 seconds. They've got a lap to go. I think Russ was pretty much saying there is no chance to pull them back. I don't agree with that at the moment. Me not agree with something that Russ has said. We have a regular fall out. It's great fun. On the way up, I reckon it's doable. And the reason I reckon it's doable is that these riders are on the limit. They have still got well over a lap and a half to do. We've got some nasty little kickers to do as well. The momentum of that group has got to go. You can't bridge solo. I'd agree with that bit. No chance of bridging solo, but if the group behind work together, take turn and turn about, let some of the riders rest on the way through, this is going to be tough. Yeah, gee, that's how it was. Russ went, maybe we're in total agreement with Russ. There you go. I've totally agreed with Russ for a change. Put the date in your diary. Now, that gap drops down, because remember, these riders are on a slower pace as they're up onto Climate Lope and back up against go over the top. And at the moment, it looks to me like Howell, who did a lot of work, he's on the back of this group of three. This is going to be interesting. 11 seconds now is the gap. The chase is on. It's on its way. Can they pull them back? Just taking a little look at this group, I think it could well start to fracture. This is the chase group at the moment. Mr. Mason, he is done and dusted. Alfie Knott, he's off the back as well of the chasing group. In pursuit at the moment. There's some big efforts being put in over the top. Phil Hall was just trying to pull them through here. He's putting in a huge, huge effort coming in up to the top. We have three leaders going over the archway. Remember when they hit the line this time round on the green sprint, they'll be on 1 lap to go. At the moment, it's 1.5 laps as they make their way round. Remember, this is not even close to a flat run in. At the moment, we are in the yellow section. If you come from right to left across the bottom of the graphic, or the Velo Viewer graphic in, we're on that yellow section directly above Strava, and the end of the Velo Viewer are at the end. They're coming through the volcano. They'll drop down a little bit on the way out, and then what we find is that we move our way in through to the glass bridge. That's a very flat section. That's going to give the advantage to a bigger group behind. But look at the time gap now. The work that was being done by those riders on the way through has put 23 seconds on the lap board. There's nobody with anything left to chase, I don't think. And it may well be that the leading three of Foggy, of Holwell and of Oliver have broken the chase group behind Dench, Taylor, Downing, Oxenham, Choppin, Williams. They are the what's left of the chase group. Then it's Haggard, not Hutch from Chris Espeo is in there. We've got going to be Spencer. I think Henry Nixon is in this group as well. You've got a real who's who. They can't close this gap down to the group in front. A fantastic ride, as Russ is saying, to the leaders, and that is just because of the sheer pace that was put down by Phil Howell, by Foggy, and by Oliver. They've broken them, I think, but it is not all over till you get to that finishing line. Remember, if just one of these riders blows in the front group, this chasing pack are going to be able to pull it in. 13th to 18th. Great work, says Henry Nixon. That is words indeed, because this is absolutely doing an amazing job to come through. And if the man who is Henry Nixon says that you're doing a good job, he should know. One of our key contacts at Swift HQ. Henry knows how to ride now, how to ride this group at the moment. He knows that this is going to be a fantastic job being put in by the group just in front. I'll tell you something, there's a big pack behind as well. This is big. Look at the size of this group. Tim Baggs' group here with Rowan Dubash, Whitehead, Samul, Wilson, Garfoot, Runner, Emsley in here, Backhouse, Tunnicliffe. They are motoring at the moment. They are flying just under 10k to go as Simon Runner is popping up for that group. That group around about the 23rd, 25th position. Meanwhile, the second group are in the way into the S's here. This is group number 2. This is the leading group, and this is the leading trio in front of them. So the trio at the front, the breakaway of 3, Phil Holwell, Isaac Oliver and Foggy. They are clear at the front at the moment. Then we have the chasing group behind, Phil Holwell and co. That chasing group, well, they are working hard at the moment. They're not getting back in touch. So we've got Dench, Hudson, we've got Chopping, we've got Davis, Taylor, Oxenham in there, Williams in there. Then it's back to the Henry Nixon group of Not Hagger, Nixon, Spencer. That Crosscast Neil is in there. I think that group chasing hard. Hutch in that group as well. Sorry if we're missing anybody out. Positions keep on changing very, very quickly. The gap currently, well, it's 19 seconds to Downing. Downing trying to do some work to pull them back on this turn in and around. But the leaders, they are on the descent in front. If they look behind them, that yellow beacon is not round that turn and into sight. We're expecting to see the big pillar of yellow come in and behind. The leaders on the way down towards the line. They're going to go in and through. This is going to be a tough day at the office. Here we go, heading in to the line. Isaac Oliver on his way in and over. They're going to go in and across now. So under the gantry they go. Can they hold off the chasers behind here today? Going to be a very interesting run into the finish. Remember, the green sprint arch is at 47.1k. That leaves 1.9k to get in to the blue arch. The ride today has been set alight by these three. They have got to reach 47.1 kilometers. They are currently riding up to a fantastic speed as they come in and through. At the moment, they are keeping the gap at about 26k. At the moment, they have just under one lap left to go. Downing and Co are through that lap line as well. The chasing group, this is the group of chasers behind that breakaway. Then it's going to be this group who are coming through the line with one lap to go. They're all getting confetti because this is another fast lap from them. So Neil from the Crosscast, from Gritty, who supports. Don't forget, new episode of the Crosscast is out. Please do have a listen. The absolute superstar that is Steve Grimwood, organiser extraordinaire, the man for whom he's almost at a royal flush of organising events. Only one major event missing off his Palmares. We'll see if he's going to make that happen. He is on the Crosscast. Give it a listen, download it. Massive thank you to everyone who's bought us coffee on there. Really do appreciate it. It helps us with the streaming, the cost of the editing, and all of the distribution. So please, 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 please do jump on board. Make sure you are on there. Now we are on the last lap for all of our riders who have come through the line in the last few seconds. This is the group of our official, unofficially official lap scorer. That is Matt Nunn. And this is a big group here who are coming through. They have one lap left to try and close down the leaders, but they are 2 minutes 37 up the road. It's 2:07 to group number 2, and going to be very interesting to see if they can get back in there. Russ at the moment is a little bit on the back. It is time to find a group. You've got one lap from the green arch back to the green arch. At the moment, nobody is round to the finish here. Russ tucked in behind. It's 28 seconds. The gap between these three leaders and the chasing group at the moment. This is really going to be tough stuff. They've got to keep on pushing. They can't relax. This is the chasing group behind. Nick shows you just how little that distance is as they come in. Henry, if everything's in there, it's going to hurt. It ain't easy. It's the Donny Chaingang, and it's definitely taking its toll on the riders today. This is group number 3. If we count our leaders at the front, who have all gone off the front. So three clean. If we count even the 3 breakaways on the front, and this is going to be their chase group number 3, chase group number 2, third group on the road. So here we go. Lots of dead legs about, no surprises there. We've got Nixon in here, we've got a Spare in here, Dixon Moore leading the next group of riders. And this is that big pack. Can they pull the group in front back? 45 seconds from them to the riders in front. Back of this group is English. Behind him, it's going to be 56 seconds back to Steve Hilbert. Another 34 to the Mike Killingsworth group. So he's got a few people to try and hold off here. Killingsworth, Raccoon, Patterson, Canham, Topless, Keyworth and Co as they make their way in through. Well, 3 leaders in front of the chasers. This is the chasing group. They still have 3 leaders up the road. Downing at the moment in this group. They have got work to do to pull back at the very front of the ride. Looks like Taylor's going to get a grand view of them coming through, but I think our 3 proper leaders as such, they are going to be cleared. This is amazing riding by Isaac Oliver, by Foggy, by Phil Holwell. Phil Holwell on some storming form at the moment. Is he going to be able to carry that right the way through the Christmas period into the cross champs and to the end of the season? Absolutely flying at the moment. These leaders on the way through now. Where will the decision be made about where they're going to go? I think it's going to need a trigger point to split them. You've got Foggy, you've got Isaac Oliver, and you've got Phil Holwell. They've all been doing turns, they've all been pushing on here, they've all had a turn at the back. Who has got the most left? Their gap, 41 seconds to the chase group, being led by AD Dench, being tailed at the back, I think, by Russ Downing. Manny Taylor getting a good view of the riders coming through. Who's your money on? Taylor's saying Isaac. So Samuel Taylor should know he's raced against him. Phil Holwell saying not him. Phil Holwell has the energy to type in the leading group to say it's not him. Don't you put money on it. It's going to be dependent on where they are. So we've got Isaac Oliver, Warm Burst, this big proven winner. We've got Foggy on board as well. Foggy could well do this. And we've got Phil Holwell. Now, who's got anvils? Who's got feathers? Who has got a ghost to go clear? Who's remembered not to put on the power socks? It shows that you're leaving the burn down on the side. This is going to be very interesting indeed. Here we go. Coming round. This is the first little trigger. Going up here. It's a little bit far out. You've got to pick your moment. There's going to be time for one big kick plus a sprint if you're lucky on the run to the line. These are your leaders. They're 44 seconds on the chasing group behind. It's going to be a little bit further back to the rest of the ride field here today. Holwell's the rider we are in with at the moment. Heart rate 152 from Phil Holwell. We're just going to take a look. Isaac Oliver 195, but we know he can top 200 comfortably on his way round. Foggy 82, Resonate 83 from Oliver. Foggy in there. Holwell just sat at the back of this group now. Who dares go early? Who is going to blink? Who is going to put in the attack? And it's Holwell who goes first. He's gone over the top. Can he catch them napping? Usually they're going to respond. They are responding now, but he's still sitting in higher watts per kilo. They're coming after him. Can he continue to kick? Isaac Oliver at 11 watts per kilo. At the moment, Holwell is holding them off. It's only a couple of seconds, if that, to the wheel. And at the moment, it's Foggy who is leading the chase. He brings them on to the wheel of Holwell. Holwell's now got to make sure he doesn't just get jumped with an instant counter attack over the top. Foggy now leading this out. Behind is Isaac Oliver. Holwell is kicked again. He's going to get back onto the wheels. He has done. This is leaving it tight on time. We are going to head into the tight right turn. This is a downhill. There's one sprint left for these guys. You've got to get the timing right. You've got to get the pace correct on that descent. This is going to be about who's got the pace. And at the moment, Isaac Oliver, he is the rider who is sat on the front. He's trying to keep them off his back wheel. He's employed the anvil. He's the only one with it. He's holding them at a couple of seconds. Can they outsprint him coming in? This could be the move of the day, having the anvil. He's allowed Isaac Oliver to go clear. He's got the gap. He's opened this up. He's into the sprint, and Isaac Oliver uses the power up to maximum effect. The sprint behind is going to be between Holwell and Foggy. Isaac Oliver's going to come through to take it. He takes first place. It's going to be Phil Holwell in 2. It's going to be Foggy in 3. Great run for the line. Now it's about the run, the sprint on down. Oxenham, he sat at 1.1 watts per kilo behind the riders. They don't want to leave this out. He has just had the most monstrous rest courtesy of the anvil. He rolls over the top. Now Russ goes. Russ puts the kick in. The Bears sprinting up against Oxenham. Oxenham has the advantage of having had that massive rest, but this is Russ. This is Downing coming. He's going to go for it. Is he going to get rolled by Hudson? No, he's not. It's Downing in 4, it's Hudson in 5, Oxenham in 6. Chopping comes in through with Dedge, with Williams running into the line. Fantastic run down into the finish. Now, next group. This could be fun. This could be about 10th down, I think, on the way in here. This group, again, playing it cagey. Will Henry Nixon use his knowledge of the game on the way down? Who has got an anvil? That is going to be key here. Neil from Gritty leading this out at the moment. Now, little bit of a ghost there from Chris Espeo from the Rue Morgue squad here. He's gone over the top of Neil from Gritty. They are on the run down. There is an anvil employed. I tell you what, Hutch has put it in and he's kicking at 6 watts per kilo as well. So he's going to come down here with a 6 watts per kilo momentum off the back of that anvil. He's coming on to the top here first. He's got the gap. Espeo is coming. Looks like Mansfield's coming. Knott's coming. Here they come. Is he going to make it? He should make this. Surely he's going to make it. He's going to make it. Who's going to get it behind? It's going to be Chris Espeo going behind Hutch, then Alfie Knott, followed by Spencer, followed by Hagger. Henry Nixon is going to come in through then. So Nixon comes in over line. Good to have you with us, Henry. Roll those legs out, mate. That's what it's there for. That's why we have this run. Oh, massive kick here by Martin. Martin's gone over the top here. He's got an early move in and he's employed the anvil as well. It's so critical to have that. Look at the speed he's going down here. 63 kilometers per hour. What timing. Again, so critical. I'll tell you something, if you got an anvil on the way round on this course, you would want to keep it. It is going to be Martin. He's going to be taking this out. Here he comes on his way in through to the line. What a ride. Then it's going to be Whitehead who comes in and through, followed by, oh, it was tight there, Backhouse and Garfoot. Pearson sprinting in for the line. Bags, Emsley, Runnett and co. all coming in with Matt Nunn. Thank you very much, Matt, for your counting skills tonight. Much needed on this course. Mr. Main also in and through. We're going to try and drop back to Chris Sadler. He's going to be our next rider in. It's a good little course this. We do love it on the Donny Chaingang. Don't forget, if you join us, remember you can ride on a Tuesday. We've got lots of great discounts. We've got members-only activities as well that are out there, including some special events coming up as we run in towards the end of the season. You've got to be in it to win it, as the saying goes. Don't forget, of course, lots of great discounts as well for everybody who is in the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club. We've just taken a little bit of a run back, and one of the reasons we've taken a run back is this is our next rider coming into the line. It's going to be Chris Hilbert here, member of the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club, people who are quite literally making the Chaingang happen. A massive thank you to Chris, to Steve, sorry for doing that. Chris, of course, is the talented youngster, Steve's young'un, who is not so young anymore. I keep saying that only because I've seen them growing up and absolutely flying. Coach for Clancy Briggs now. So Stevie on his way through. He's got Darren Toplish behind. So, Chris Sparrow, thanks, Russ Matt, and the next group, great group. No, our pleasure, absolutely our pleasure, Chris. Always great to have the riders on the gang giving it beans. That's what it's all about. It's not meant to be easy. It's meant to be a good workout. And that's exactly what is happening now. Hilbert on his way in to the line. No one in sight behind him. He's going to be able to solo his way down to the finish. Dr. D, not sure he can unclip. No, if he does, spin round for a little bit longer, buddy. Tim Bag's absolute class, fantastic. Neil was waiting for the anvil. It never came. No, so critical here now. Little final kick there from Steve Hilbert as he comes underneath the line. 39th today, Darren Topless on a massive kick into the line. But Patterson has gone over the top. He's got the gap. Canham's coming after him. It's going to be Patterson followed by Canham. Then it's going to be Topless. Then it's going to be Killingsworth and Clark and Raccoon going through the line almost together. Great riding as they come in through the line. Great to see them kicking all the way in to the finish. Going to take a little run back. We're just going to try and work out who is sat next behind. I suspect it's Andy Keyworth. We're just going to try and take a little look at the sat-nav screen. I think Manny's got one more lap to go. So Mally Taylor going to have one more lap to go at the line. Mally, great riding, buddy. Keep it smooth. Keep ticking the K's in as you head out and around. Behind, it should be Andy Keyworth. It should be Nick Wallace. These two are not separated by much here. Keyworth's got to keep attentive here as he comes in towards the finish, because we know that this is going to be a quick run in to the line, because Wallace is coming as well. Darren Topless absolutely toasted. There you go. No surprises there. So, Wallace chasing Keyworth. I think if all of our riders are not toast, I would be very surprised. I think everybody has definitely been burning up the watts on the way down around the course today. Keyworth currently clear of Wallace. They are currently vying 46, 47 their position. Very tough stuff out on the gang today. And it's going to be a Wallace chasing Keyworth. Keyworth's onto the bridge, kick for the line, 200 metres from those green lines across the course to the finish here. So Keyworth heading in to the finish here on the Donny Chaingang, live on the Downey Cycling YouTube channel. Andy Keyworth is going to go through the line. He makes his way in and over. It's going to be Nigel Wallace who comes in immediately behind him. Good riding, Nigel. Well done, buddy. So Nigel goes in and through. Next rider due to hit the line, I think, is Sonia Inslee, who is just making her way in to the roller coasters at the moment. So it's going to be Sonia. Then I think it is likely to be Paul Hill. And then potentially after Paul Hill, I think it will be Malcolm Taylor in that order when they're due to hit the line. But we'll keep an eye on our riders. We'd like to make sure all our riders get the credit they deserve on the way out and around the circuit. So Keyworth, job done. Mr. Wallace, Nigel Wallace, thank you, Nigel. Good ride, buddy. Spin those legs out to the blue banner. Really, really important to make sure you get rid of all of that lactic acid on the way through. Hill on the way around those turns. Sonia Inslee on the big turn here. We're just going to keep a little bit of a check. Tricky to work out because one of the reasons here is because Hill is in 49th position. Sonia Inslee is in 48th. That is to do with their positions relative to each other out on the course. Taylor on his way around a little bit further back. So Sonia Inslee will be our next finisher when she hits the line. So some great riding, some really good comments going down. If you like the ride, please don't forget, tell your friends about it. Get them to jump on board the riders. Sonia just makes her way through these turns here. Let's just do a quick bit of housekeeping for you. So please don't forget that if you are riding and you enjoyed yourself out on the course here today, the thing to do is to make sure that you are making sure that you are supporting the people who support your sport over there. You can see OTE, gritty Halo Wheels, OTE, the Goodyear Tyres, Nonna's Restaurant, Turn 80 Oakley, and lots more. And of course, ourselves at Full Speed Events and Downing Cycling as well. So please do make sure you give us a follow and make sure that you keep up to date with what is happening. You can join. You see the ride down on the left-hand side. You can register for the ride. It's www.buyaticket.at/full speed events. You can see it coming across your screen. You can also join the Donny Chaingang supporters club, the DCG gang there, for the Tuesday ride for exclusive members only discounts as well as events. So please do make sure that you do that if you can. At the moment, the riders coming in around this left turn is Sonia Inslee. Sonia from the Bolsover and District Cycling Club, making her way around these twists and turns. One more right-hand turn and the drop down for Sonia to come in. And looking forward to seeing how Sonia gets on as we move through the course of the season. So the last climb up for Sonia. There is a little bit of a kicker coming onto the bridge, but generally everybody's momentum will take them through there. Sonia, of course, accomplished Brompton rider as well as a very accomplished hill climb time trial specialist, as well as a great rider on the road out around the roads of the Peak District regularly. Good to see Sonia looking super smooth on here, keeping a nice pedal cadence. She goes over the top, the run down to the line. All that remains for Sonia to do here on the Donny Chaingang, making that move down into the descent. Going to be taking the sweeping left-hand bend. Picking up pace as she moves down here. That speed increasing to 38 kilometres now, 40 kilometres an hour on the descent. The run to the line, the final thing between Sonia and that warm down that we have on all the Donny Chaingangs. We don't ever finish on blue banner. We finish at a fixed point beforehand deliberately. Looks like we're going to get a sprint from Sonia on the way through, out of the saddle there, really kicking down 400 watts coming from Sonia. She kicks in through to the line. Another big sprint from another great rider on the Donny Chaingang here once again. Sonia Inslee in underneath the banner, time to spin those legs out. Sonia knows the sky. She's done this many times before. So congratulations to Sonia, our next rider in and through the line. Our next rider should be Mr. Hill and then Sailor. So Paul Hill and Malcolm Taylor going to be our last two riders in towards the line here today. A great ride by both of our riders. The riders making their way in towards the long run into the volcano, across the sand spit that runs out across the little bit of an inlet here, and you can see Phil Hill on his way through there. Behind him we've got Mally Taylor. Mally on the climb up the bank here, spinning his legs as he makes his way up in towards the volcano. Remember guys, make sure you spin out when you get to the end of the ride. We are going to be heading off very shortly, because we have a production meeting for the World Cups that are coming up, the Cyclocross World Cups. Don't forget you can catch up with me. It's at Matt Fixpain for where we're going to be at, what we're going to be covering. Full speed events, well, we've got teams out and about. Emma's going to be on the mic with me this Sunday. Don't forget, of course, that we are also going to be back with the Women Only Wednesday Chaingang. That's going to be coming up. Guess when? Yep, it's on Wednesday. We also are going to be back with the Chaingang on the Thursday as well. We've got another episode of the Crosscast being recorded very quickly, so do please download the latest episode of the Crosscast. You can get it off the social media feed from my link tree. You can get it and get it direct from Buzzsprout or from wherever you get your podcast, Spotify, Apple Music, wherever. Do please give it a download, have a listen. Some really interesting points from Steve, some great points from Neil, and Me, hopefully keeping it at reasonably emotive as well, because I always like to have a little bit of a run on somewhere in the crosscast, unless Neil edits it out, which fortunately he doesn't edit out too many. Try and say what I think on there. Don't forget, of course, you can catch up with what Russ is doing and the team at Downing Cycling. It's at Downing Cycling. It's Russ Downing or Fonzie Downing across social media. Have a check out Fuel, check out Move, check out Bike Flex, and, of course, Pro Espresso. Really key that you support the people who support your sport. And remember that if you're a member of the DCG gang, there is a 30% discount code just up there. If you join, it's 30% discount. So, give you an example. All you need to do is buy yourselves 2 of the big tubs of recovery fuel. Absolutely amazing. Maybe get yourself a box of bars, OTE Anytime bars, cherry, absolutely superb. Salted caramel, even better. A couple of gels. Do you know what? You'll have saved yourself more than the cost of the membership. So please, please, please do jump on board. 30% in December for members of the DCG gang, the Donny Chaingang Sports Club. We've got 30% off Goodyear tyres and Continental tyres, courtesy of the team at Cambrian Tyres across in Aberystwyth, with Shelley and the gang supporting the gang. Don't forget, we've got 20% off the gritty sustainable sports apparel all the way through, and we've got those discount codes for the members. You have to join to get them. Still plenty of rides left in there. Don't forget, of course, that we have Nonna's Restaurant supporting us and 1080 as well on the way through, as well as Halo Wheels. So please do support the people who support your sport. But from me, Matt Penn, from all the riders here on the Chaingang, from Russ, thank you for joining us, Henry, from Zwift, a massive thank you to everybody who makes it possible. We will be back. I'll be back in the studio tomorrow, but we'll be back on cycling duties on Sunday. Catch up with what we're up to. You can see the social media tag down there at Matt Fixer Pain. But from everybody here, stay safe. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.